Have you ever longed to drift into sleep effortlessly, and wake up feeling truly refreshed, with energy that carries you into the new day like a quiet morning breeze? If so, don't go anywhere. Because what I'm about to reveal could transform the way your nights unfold and how your days begin. Tonight, we're diving into 7 powerful foods that can deeply improve the quality of your sleep, and not in some subtle way. The effects can be profound. And often, surprising. But first, let's begin with a familiar, yet frustrating scenario. You climb into bed, hoping to finally rest. But your brain? It has other plans. Thoughts race. Your body's still. But your mind won't stop running. You toss. You turn. You stare at the ceiling. Or worse, you doze off for a moment, only to awaken again at 2 a.m., eyes wide open in the dark, unable to find your way back to sleep. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Nights like these don't just leave you groggy. They quietly chip away at your health, especially as the years pass. What many don't realize is this. Sleep problems become more common after age 50. And it's not just stress or habits. It's biology. Your body's internal clock, the circadian rhythm that once helped you drift off easily, starts to shift. The signals that used to lull you into deep rest? They become weaker, quieter, easier to miss. But here's the good news, nature has already given us the tools to reset that rhythm. Not pills. Not chemicals. Just real, natural foods, ones that gently work with your nervous system to bring back the rest your body remembers how to have. For those who've tried this, the changes are real. Fewer restless nights. Deeper, more healing sleep. Mornings that feel like morning again. It's almost like the body begins to remember how to rest naturally. And if you've been leaning on sleeping pills just to make it through the night, please, listen closely. What comes next could offer you a way out. A real path back to natural sleep, without depending on medication. So if your goal is to sleep better, feel better, and wake up brighter, then you're in the right place. Make sure you're following this channel, and now, let's begin. Here's the first food that could help you reclaim your nights, one peaceful sleep at a time. Sleep food number 1, almonds, the silent guardian of restful nights. At first glance, almonds may seem like nothing more than a crunchy snack rich in protein and easy to grab on the go. But look deeper, and you'll uncover something far more powerful. These tiny treasures are loaded with nutrients that speak directly to your body's sleep command center. And one of the lead characters in this quiet story of rest is magnesium. Magnesium works like a natural dimmer switch. It slows things down, eases tension in your muscles, calms your nervous system, and gently guides your body into a state of surrender, without force, without pills, without struggle. But that's just the beginning. Almonds also help regulate cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone. Have you ever laid in bed, your body still but your mind racing, looping through awkward conversations or unfinished to-do lists? That's cortisol at work. And almonds? They help keep that chaos in check. Then there's vitamin E, a potent antioxidant found abundantly in almonds. It plays a key role in reducing silent inflammation, the kind that can quietly sabotage your sleep by keeping your body on high alert, blocking access to the deep, restorative stages of slumber. And one more secret most people don't realize. Almonds contain healthy fats that help stabilize blood sugar levels through the night. Ever wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. feeling oddly awake, or just a little hungry? That might be a dip in blood sugar. The good fats in almonds help smooth out that crash, keeping your energy levels even until morning light. How to make the most of it? Enjoy a small handful of almonds about an hour before bed. Eat them raw, or, if you've got a bit of time, soak them in water. Why soak them? It reduces compounds that can interfere with magnesium absorption in some people. Plus, it makes them easier to digest. Want to go one step further? Make your own almond milk at home. Just soak the almonds overnight, peel off the skins, blend with warm water, and add a pinch of cinnamon for extra soothing power. Sip it slowly before bed, and let nature's sedative take the stage. But wait, before we move on to the next sleep-supporting food, we need to talk about something that might be quietly working against you. Decaf coffee. Many people assume that because it's labeled decaf, it's harmless at night. But here's the catch. Decaf still contains 3% to 10% of its original caffeine content. And for sensitive sleepers, that's more than enough to derail a peaceful night. Worse yet? The decaffeination process itself. Some decaf methods rely on chemical solvents like methylene chloride or ethyl acetate. Even in small amounts, these substances can interfere with your brain's neurotransmitters, the very messengers that manage your sleep cycle. And here's another twist. Your brain might have conditioned itself to associate the smell and ritual of coffee with mental alertness. So even if your cup is nearly caffeine-free, the aroma and experience alone can send a subconscious signal. Time to be awake. Yes, just the act of holding a warm mug, smelling the familiar roast, and taking that first sip might be enough to awaken the mind, right when it should be winding down. And that's where things go sideways. Because this mental confusion can interrupt the most critical phase of sleep, deep sleep, the stage where true healing occurs. This is when cells regenerate, the immune system recalibrates, and the brain starts sorting through the noise of the day. But if you don't stay in this phase long enough, it doesn't matter if you technically slept 8 hours, you may still wake up groggy, mentally foggy, like your body hit pause instead of restart. Imagine this. You're doing everything right. No screens at night. Peaceful bedtime rituals. Even some light meditation before sleep. But you still sip decaf coffee before bed. That tiny habit, seemingly harmless, may be undoing all your hard work. A better swap? Try replacing your evening cup with a calming herbal tea, something like warm chamomile, brewed properly. Later in this video, I'll show you a special method to enhance its soothing effects even more. After just a few nights of trading coffee for herbal tea, you might notice your sleep shifting deeper, smoother, more complete. This isn't theory. It's a classic case of clever marketing dressing up a troublemaker in friendly disguise. Decaf coffee may wear the costume of a sleep-friendly drink. But for many people, it's a silent thief robbing them of the deep rest they so desperately need. Sleep food number 2, the underestimated power of bananas, nature's gentle sleep coach. There's something quietly familiar about a banana. No drama. No flash. Just a golden curve sitting patiently in your fruit bowl. But this gentle fruit, so often overlooked, holds a secret that sleep-deprived souls have ignored for far too long. Not every solution comes in the form of a prescription. Sometimes, it comes in the form of a peel. Inside that modest yellow skin is a trio of nutrients that speak the ancient language of rest. Magnesium. Potassium. Vitamin B6. Each plays its part. Together, they form a lullaby for your nervous system. Magnesium whispers to your muscles. Relax. You've done enough for today. Potassium calms the storm in your blood vessels, keeping pressure low and steady. And B6? It steps backstage, quietly working to convert tryptophan into serotonin. Serotonin lifts your mood, smooths the edges of worry. And then quietly transforms into melatonin, the night's gentle conductor. Let's bring this to life. Rosa, 65 years old, had spent years chasing sleep like a shadow she could never catch. Restless legs. Shallow naps. A mind that refused to power down. One evening, after reading about it in an old health journal, she tried something simple, a ripe banana, speckled with brown, about an hour before bed. No expectations. Just curiosity. By the third night, she felt something shift. Her legs, usually buzzing with invisible electricity, began to rest. Her eyes closed, and stayed closed. By the second week, she stopped checking the clock at 3 a.m. Her body remembered. Not through medicine, but through nourishment. Want to take it further? Warm a sliced banana with a bit of oat milk and cinnamon. Let the heat unlock its sweetness. Let your breath slow. Let your nervous system recognize the invitation. And here's something few know. If you eat bananas when they're still a little green, you're getting something even more powerful, resistant starch. It feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, and your gut, in turn, produces compounds that help regulate your brain's sleep cycle. That's the beauty of real food. It doesn't just fix a symptom. It teaches your body how to restore itself. But a word of caution, bananas aren't magic wands. They won't knock you out like pills. Instead, they work like an old friend guiding you home, slowly, steadily, gently. The kind of sleep you wake up from not wondering did I sleep, but thinking, wow, I actually feel like me again. So the next time you pass by that quiet bunch of bananas in the kitchen, don't think of them as fruit. Think of them as a soft-spoken healer, waiting patiently for the moment you're ready to return to deep, honest rest. Sleep food #3 cherries, the ruby red reset button for your night rhythm. They're small. They're sweet. And they might just be the most beautiful sleep medicine you've never taken seriously. In the quiet world of natural remedies, cherries stand out not because they shout but because they work. Beneath their glossy red skin lies something remarkable, melatonin, the very hormone your brain produces each night to signal it's time to power down, disconnect, and drift. In a perfect world, your body would handle this job smoothly. But life rarely plays fair. Screens glow into the late hours. Stress stretches into the night. Age, erratic schedules, artificial lights, all of them chip away at your natural melatonin flow. That's where cherries step in, not as a sedative, but as a gentle reminder. Just 10 to 15 fresh or frozen cherries, enjoyed about an hour before bed, can begin the process of restoring your inner rhythm. They help your internal clock remember what dusk used to feel like when the world slowed down, and so did you. But cherries aren't just melatonin in fruit form. They bring along anthocyanins, vibrant plant compounds with powerful anti-inflammatory effects, especially within the brain. Imagine them as your night crew, quietly sweeping away oxidative stress, polishing mental clarity, and preparing your mind to awaken with brightness and balance. Ever woken up feeling stiff, foggy, or strangely drained despite sleeping enough? That's often a sign that your body never reached the deep stages of restoration. Cherries help smooth the transition between light and deep sleep, allowing your body to repair, your cells to regenerate, and your thoughts to settle. And they offer something rare: stability. As seasons change, and daylight patterns shift, our sleep can get thrown off without warning. Cherries act as a natural anchor, helping to keep your circadian rhythm steady even when the world outside feels out of sync. But there's one tip worth remembering. Backhand index pointing right, always reach for fresh or frozen cherries. Steer clear of dried ones. Why? Most dried cherries come packed with added sugars, and that late-night sugar spike can do more harm than good, jolting your system just as it's preparing to settle. How to enjoy them? You can eat them plain, cool, and satisfying. Or blend them into a smoothie with almond milk or oat milk. Add a pinch of cinnamon or chia for bonus sleep-friendly benefits. It's delicious. It's natural. And yes, it's backed by science. Cherries don't knock you out. They nudge you home. To a place your body remembers. And your mind has been missing. Sleep food #4, kiwi, the emerald guardian that whispers you to sleep. It doesn't look like much. Fuzzy on the outside. Tangy on the tongue. Yet beneath that modest coat, the kiwi hides the soul of a nighttime warrior. Forget its tropical salad reputation. Because this green gem may be one of the most scientifically supported sleep aids nature has to offer. In New Zealand, the kiwi's homeland, researchers made a discovery that startled even seasoned sleep experts. Just 1 or 2 kiwis an hour before bed can significantly improve both the duration and depth of sleep. But how? Inside every kiwi lies a remarkable compound, serotonin, the same neurotransmitter that helps regulate mood, calm anxiety, and most importantly, lays the foundation for melatonin, your body's sleep hormone. In essence, eating a kiwi is like giving your brain the exact tools it needs to start winding down organically, gradually, and without force. But the kiwi doesn't stop there. It brings backup, vitamin C and vitamin E, powerful antioxidants that wage war on oxidative stress, especially in the brain. You know that foggy feeling in the morning when your mind feels like it's wrapped in cotton? That might not be just age. It could be cellular inflammation quietly sabotaging your sleep cycle. Kiwi's antioxidants are like night shift janitors, sweeping away the residue of daily stress, preparing your brain for a fresh, clear morning. And here's a twist most people miss. The fuzzy skin of the kiwi isn't just edible, it's potent. It holds even more fiber and antioxidant compounds than the bright green center. Yes, you can eat the whole thing. Just rinse well and brush gently. That extra fiber? It supports your gut, and when your gut is calm, your brain follows. Want to go one step further? Try this: half a banana and one kiwi before bed. The banana brings tryptophan, the kiwi provides serotonin. Together, they form a biochemical handshake that says to your nervous system, it's time to rest. Feeling cozy? Blend them with a little warm oat milk and cinnamon. You'll have a sleep smoothie that tastes like dessert and functions like a lullaby. And there's more. Kiwi has been linked to reduced anxiety, less irritability, and even easing nighttime muscle tension, all silent sleep disruptors that few recognize until they're gone. Small? Yes. But in the realm of sleep, this tiny fruit is a giant. Interlude: the sauerkraut mistake, a caution in disguise. And just when you thought everything fermented was your friend. Let's talk about a surprising sleep saboteur: sauerkraut. Wait, isn't it good for you? Yes, but only when used right. Sauerkraut can support digestion, regulate gut bacteria, and even reduce stress hormones. But pair it poorly with chocolate, wine, or high-fat meats, and you've just brewed a storm in your gut. Fermented foods like sauerkraut are high in histamines. In sensitive individuals, that can trigger flushed skin, headaches, restlessness, even midnight awakenings that seem to come from nowhere. The solution? Keep it simple. Have 2 to 3 tablespoons early in the evening, ideally with complex carbs like brown rice or oatmeal. Avoid mixing it with iron supplements. The vitamin C in sauerkraut can boost iron absorption. Too high, and too much iron? That's bad news for melatonin. Think of sauerkraut as a sharp tool, helpful, powerful, but not to be played with in the dark. And if you're curious, yes, you can make it at home. Shred fresh cabbage, massage with sea salt, and let it ferment in a clean jar for a week. Or, buy raw, unpasteurized versions, the ones with live probiotics still intact. Handled wisely, sauerkraut can calm your gut, steady your nerves, and lower cortisol, the stress hormone that so often hijacks your peace. But mishandled? It becomes that quiet thief that robs you of rest when you least expect it. Sleep food number 5, oatmeal, the morning ritual that belongs at night. For most people, oatmeal is a breakfast classic. Comforting. Familiar. A warm start to a busy day. But what if I told you that this humble bowl might actually be at its best after sunset? Oatmeal, when used wisely, can become your body's most underrated nighttime companion. Not because it's heavy or indulgent, but because it brings together a trio of nutrients that speak directly to your nervous system when it's time to rest. Let's break that down. At the heart of oatmeal's power are magnesium, zinc, and slow-digesting carbohydrates. Magnesium tells your muscles, you're safe. You can soften now. Zinc gets to work behind the scenes, helping trigger the biochemical steps needed for your body to generate melatonin, the hormone that whispers to your brain it's time for sleep. And those slow carbohydrates? They act like a steady hand on the energy wheel, releasing glucose gradually through the night, avoiding the crashes that jolt you awake at 2 or 3 a.m. Because that's the truth few people talk about. Many nighttime awakenings aren't caused by noise or bad dreams. They're caused by blood sugar dips. Your body senses the drop and responds with stress hormones to wake you up. It's not a nightmare. It's biology. But a small bowl of oatmeal before bed? It prevents that crash, smoothing your internal rhythms like a soft drumbeat in the dark. And there's more. Inside oats lies avenin, a unique compound with natural calming effects. Not a sedative, just a gentle hush. Avenin helps slow racing thoughts, quiet overstimulated nerves, and guide your mind towards stillness. No fog. No grogginess. Just peace. Here's a bedtime recipe to try. Warm half a cup of rolled oats in almond or oat milk. Add a few chopped walnuts or almonds. Dust with cinnamon. That's it. What you get isn't just a late snack, it's a signal to your body. The day is over. Let's wind down. Prefer something lighter? Blend a banana with warm oat milk and add a spoonful of finely ground oats. You'll have a sleep-friendly smoothie that soothes without overwhelming. And here's the science to back it all up. Studies show that people who eat oats regularly spend more time in deep sleep, even if their total sleep hours don't increase. And deep sleep is where the magic happens. Memory is consolidated. Cells regenerate. Emotions get sorted. You wake up clearer, more focused, with a steadier mood and a calmer heart. So if your nights feel broken, if you toss, turn, or wake feeling like you didn't sleep at all, maybe your body isn't missing medication. Maybe it's just missing the right meal. Try moving your oatmeal from morning to night. And you might just wake up remembering what real rest feels like. Sleep food number 6. Chamomile, the golden bloom that calms the chaos within. It's not flashy. It doesn't come with a strong flavor or bright color. And yet, for centuries, chamomile has been quietly helping people do something many have forgotten how to do. Rest. Chamomile isn't just a tea. It's a ritual. A warm cup held between tired hands. A gentle scent that tells your nervous system, you're safe now. You can let go. But what makes this delicate flower so powerful? Inside every blossom are compounds called apigenin, plant-based chemicals that bind to receptors in your brain, encouraging it to slow down, quieten, and begin the descent into sleep. Unlike sleeping pills, chamomile doesn't knock on the door. It waits. Patiently. Until your body is ready to step into stillness. For those struggling with anxiety, racing thoughts, or emotional restlessness, chamomile can act like a soothing whisper to the mind. And the benefits don't stop there. Chamomile also has mild muscle relaxing properties. It eases tension in the gut, calms inflammation, and supports digestion, all of which can influence the quality of your sleep more than you realize. Because when the body isn't at ease, the mind can't rest either. Here's how to use chamomile to its full potential. Brew it gently. Don't boil. Use dried chamomile flowers, steep them in hot, not boiling, water for 5 to 7 minutes, and cover the cup to retain the essential oils. Drink it slowly. In silence, if you can. Let it become your evening boundary, the moment you signal to yourself that the day has ended. Want to amplify its effects? Add a slice of fresh ginger for warmth, a drizzle of raw honey for sweetness, or a few drops of magnesium glycinate if you're particularly tense. The result? A nightcap that doesn't sedate, it invites. Chamomile is especially helpful for those whose sleep struggles are tied to emotion rather than biology. The worriers. The overthinkers. The ones who lie in bed, replaying conversations, or planning the next day in their minds. For them, chamomile isn't just tea, it's a way to transition out of the mental storm and into rest. And here's a gentle tip. Try drinking chamomile with the lights dimmed. Your body responds to environmental cues. Soft light, slow breathing, and a warm cup can reawaken the natural signals for sleep that modern life so often drowns out. In a world full of noise, chamomile is silence in a cup. It won't force you to sleep. But it will remind you, softly and sweetly, that rest is your right, and your body still remembers how to return to it. Sleep food number 7. Warm milk, the timeless elixir that still knows your name. There's something ancient about a glass of warm milk at night. Not trendy. Not exotic. But deeply human. It's the kind of comfort that doesn't ask for attention. It simply shows up quietly, like a mother's hand smoothing your hair, or a lullaby hummed from memory. But why does it work? Warm milk is more than tradition. It holds real chemistry, grounded in biology. Inside this creamy liquid lies a sleep-supporting compound, tryptophan, an amino acid that gently nudges your brain toward producing serotonin, which then becomes melatonin, the very hormone that signals sleep. And when served warm, it amplifies the message. Warmth activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and digest mode, lowering your heart rate, relaxing your muscles, and quieting the mental chatter that keeps you awake. But perhaps even more powerful than its nutrients is the ritual itself. You hold the cup. You feel the heat against your skin. You sip slowly. And with each breath, your body begins to believe. It's okay to let go now. This isn't placebo. This is neurological conditioning built through years of association. Especially for those who grew up with warm milk as a nighttime comfort, this simple drink carries a signal older than memory. And here's something most people overlook. Milk also contains calcium and vitamin D, both of which play roles in supporting the nervous system and regulating sleep cycles. Add a pinch of nutmeg or a dusting of cinnamon. You now have a calming drink that not only soothes the senses but supports deep, restorative sleep. And if you're lactose sensitive? Plant-based options like almond milk or oat milk still contain magnesium and are often fortified with calcium and B vitamins, a great alternative, especially when gently heated. But here's the key. It's not just about the ingredients. It's about the moment. Drinking warm milk isn't a hack. It's a pause. A signal. A way of telling your body and your thoughts that the day has come to a gentle end. So the next time you lie in bed, mind buzzing, heart still racing from a long day, step into the kitchen. Pour a little milk. Warm it slowly. And give yourself the permission to be still, to be soft, to be cared for. Because sometimes, rest doesn't begin in the body. It begins in the soul. And now, we've reached the quiet end of our journey. 7 foods. Each simple. Each gentle. But when placed in the right moment, in the right rhythm, they become more than nourishment. They become messages. Messages that tell your body. You are safe. You are allowed to rest. You don't need to fight through the night anymore. Because here's the truth no one talks about. We live in a world that glorifies productivity, speed, and doing more. But sleep? Real, healing sleep isn't something you force. It's something you allow. And these foods? They don't work like pills. They work like memory. They help your body remember what it was always designed to do. To slow down. To heal. To surrender to the darkness, not as a threat but as a place of repair. So tonight, don't aim for perfection. Don't watch the clock. Don't chase sleep like a problem to solve. Instead, make yourself a quiet bowl of something warm. Steep the tea. Cut the fruit. Turn off the light a little earlier. And most of all, speak to your body with kindness. Let it know that even if the world has forgotten how to rest, you haven't. And if tonight isn't perfect, that's okay. You're practicing a new kind of patience. One that doesn't push, but welcomes. Thank you for sharing this space with me. If this video helped you feel seen, or gave you something to try tonight, consider subscribing to the channel. We'll be exploring more of these quiet, powerful truths together. And until then, may your night be soft, your breath be steady, and your body remember its way home to sleep.